Hey everyone, Avros here, back with the next Lufenia fight against the Divine Summon Board boss Ramuh. This boss is kind of an interesting one. His orb spawns at 79% HP with a 20 count, and it is increased via delaying the boss, and that will increase the count by 5. Other things to keep in mind, the boss is weak to ice damage, absorbs thunder and earth elements, and is immune to Paralyze, HP attack disable, terror, attack and defense down debuffs. And when he does his recast, he'll actually summon a pair of adds, and the adds are these little crystals that are next to Ramuh. While those adds are up, Ramuh can't be launched. He has a 90% bravery damage reduction to non-elemental based attacks. The adds are summoned, as I said, after he does his recast or his AoE attacks, and they have about 1,000,000 HP each. So you do need to kill those adds before there's really much you can do against Ramuh, or you need to make sure he doesn't take any turns so they don't come up, which feeds into the whole delay strategy, increasing his orb count. The other thing to keep in mind is his recast does grant him a bunch of framed buffs. They give him attack, bravery gain, HP damage, and recast itself will ignore any damage reduction effects, whether that's bravery or HP. So that recast ability is very dangerous and you don't really want him to do it. Again, feeds into the whole delay strategy for this boss here. So I decided for my team to go with a very launch-heavy strategy, as well as bringing launches that have delay. So, as you can see, I've got Cloud with his LD, which has the delay, as well as giving him free ability uses and his launch on finishing touch. I also brought Ramza along, another launcher, as well as having delay on his LD as well. And lastly, I brought Keiss just to increase the amount of launches and bring along his fantastic battery during chase sequences there. And brought a friend Ramza unit as well, as I figured having an extra Ramza for his launch and LD would be very useful to have in this fight. Lastly, I did bring along some interesting calls, I shouldn't say interesting, but I did bring along Jack on Cloud, again increasing as much bravery damage as possible with his LD call. Dark Knight Cecil, despite the fact he doesn't have any sort of LD boards yet for his LD call, his call does have launch on it as well, so that is handy as well for getting as much launch damage out, which is the idea behind this team. And for Keiss, I brought Onion Knight, does good ice-based damage, so that helps out with doing, some damage out of that call as well to Ramza, as well as the free ability uses and, changing up the turn sequence is very useful there with his LD call. Last little fact I do want to highlight for this fight, I did bring along Odin as my summon, and that was definitely a mistake. I probably shouldn't have done that. Pandemonium with such a launch-heavy strategy would have been much more effective and useful, but I managed to get through the fight relatively easily even with bringing Odin, so I just say don't do that if you're going to copy the strategy. Bring Pandemonium, it'll be even faster, but if you do have Odin or another summon like that, it won't be too bad. Just don't bring anything that does thunder or earth during the summon phase, so don't bring Ramuh himself or brothers. And yeah, if you're not going to go with a very launch heavy strategy, I'd say you'd really want to focus on the delay. So Emperor with his synergy for this event, as well as the LD and the LD board, and being able to just pop his traps with his HP +++ attack to get the delay out of his EX trap would be very useful. Other characters, stuff like Leo with his heavy amount of delay, and just really try and fill your team up with as much delay as possible if you're going to go with that strategy, but just make sure that they're able to beat it within their required turn count. And yeah, just try and avoid having Ramuh take any turns. So hopefully this helps anyone that's trying to do this fight, and thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of the video.
いいタイミングだ。 任せろ。限界を超える。いいタイミングだ。僕に任せろ。いいタイミングだ。僕に任せろ。星を降り注げ。大切じゃないものなんかな。思い出の中でじっとしていてくれ。逃がさない。僕は臆病者だ。それでも迷いはしない。さあ行くよ。遅いね。痛いよ。おしまい。空中からだ。はっ。トリプルブレイク。いいタイミングだ。行くぞ。さあここからだ。空中からだ。やっちゃうぞ。届くんだな。見た。油断した。見た。いいタイミングだ。僕に任せろ。ここからだ。空中からだ。助かったよ。魂を引き出す。はあ。虚空を貫け。いいタイミングだ。行くぞ。限界を超える。さよなら。いいタイミングだ。行くぞ。侮るな。さあここからだ。いけ。目にも止まらぬってね。受け取りだ。僕に任せろ。 リプルブレイク空中からだ星を降り注げいいタイミングだ僕に任せろマジでいいね侮るな限界を超えるいけるぞ空中からだいいタイミングだ僕に任せろマジでいいねトリプルブレイク星を降り注げやれないな魂を引き出す